Alright lads, when it comes to Modern Warfare 2 Remastered and multiplayer, Activision has a plan. You might want to stick around for this one because it's pretty damn interesting. And yes, you are right fellas, Activision did say they have no plan to release MW2 Multiplayer Remastered as its own standalone thing. Instead, they will be replacing it essentially with adding Modern Warfare 2 maps to the new Modern Warfare multiplayer. Kind of not the same, is it? This story or situation is really deep and we have only just begun. So I say, well Activision, you absolute dumbasses, what about all the leaked insider information and literal proof of Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer already being developed or remastered? Trusted leaker The Gaming Revolution has reported on it multiple times, but last night just went ahead and stirred the pot a shit ton. He said his source, who he has just spoken to, is insisting that right now they are still developing and testing the multiplayer of... Wait, what? Lads, I don't even know what to say. Like, not this again. Of course, it's leaked information, so take it with a massive grain of salt. Don't think I'm saying, oh, it's 100% happening, it's a fact. But at the same time, this is probably coming from the same source who has provided real information and proved themselves just when talking about Modern Warfare 2 Remastered in the first place. I'm confused. Also, another piece of evidence is that the file size for just the campaign of Modern Warfare 2, about 45 odd gigabytes, is the same size as Modern Warfare Remastered, which had multiplayer. Like, the campaign ain't that fat, lads. I don't think this releases on PC until the end of April, but when it does, I bet my ass that data miners will go in the files and find proof, evidence of remastered multiplayer. Activision said there is no plans to release it because they don't want to split up the player base between Modern Warfare, the new game coming out this year, and Warzone, which has just dropped, which to be honest totally does make sense. So even if it has been developed, maybe they're just gonna keep it behind closed doors and it'll be cut content. Kinda weird though. But then I ask, but why is the source saying that they are still developing it and still testing it if there's no plans for it? Well, that is where the theory comes in. Right now, Treyarch are developing the new game from their homes, which is kind of impossible. And also they only had a year and a half, which only half the time they would normally have to develop a game. So maybe COD 2020, Black Ops 5, whatever, is kind of might be hanging in the balance or on the verge of being delayed, because it just can't be done in time. So Modern Warfare 2 Multiplayer Remaster, which is gonna be hype AF. I mean, you see all the hype for just the campaign, and now that there's no multiplayer, you could say that the hype is derailed. Fella said right, shut up. Activision do have a plan for it because it's their backup plan, their contingency plan for if COD 2020 goes all wrong, then they can just delay it and release Modern Warfare 2 instead, which would be probably no problem for the community because we want to slurp up that Modern Warfare 2 juice. Also, I am telling you right now, even though the newest game is Modern Warfare and they are going to put all 16 Modern Warfare 2 maps into that game, it's just not the same game, is it? So even if that happened, if they announce just later on oh, Modern Warfare 2 Multiplayer Remastered is a thing, the community would still be hyped for it because it's just that iconic, it's just that top tier. This is Modern Warfare 2 we are talking about, and Activision would be fools not to release a remaster of multiplayer. And lads, April Fool's Day was yesterday, so release that thing. Anyway lads, I guess we'll have to, I say lads way too much, we're gonna have to just wait and see what happens, because anything could happen, and I'm kind of tired of this whole MW2 drama saga thing. It's kind of just pissing me off. So anyway, look, stay spicy and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.